Hello and welcome to the tutorial for the Mechanica, Mechanisms, Metals and Machines. And what I want to do is show you how we use this as a very simple graphics program. And all we're really doing is matte and layering, and there's two main keyboard controls that you need to learn. So what we've got is the main video here, and you've seen what's on it through the walkthrough tour. What I'd like to do now is show you how we use the Topper Creator. Now, please don't panic that it's a sort of a complicated graphics program. It isn't. It's really a simpler way of using electronic matte and layering. With really two commands, it's just copy and paste, and that's what we're looking at. And we can explore some of the other options that we've got as well along the way. But let's just keep it nice and simple, because I want you not to be afraid to use this section. It's really a fantastic way of working. Okay, we access it through the main CD. We go and click on to Topper Creator. Now that's going to open up another page, slightly offset there. You can see we've got our original underneath, so I'm just going to line this back into our grid here. Okay, and from here we've got all the images. We just point and click to what we want. But remember, we matte and layer and we build up. So in this instance, I'm going to go to this page here and choose a paper down here. Now when I click onto it, a blue line appears around it. And what we have to do now is simply copy it. There's a couple of ways of doing this. Perhaps the easiest way at the start is to go up to Edit and Copy, which is Control-C if you're using the keyboard, or Apple-C if you're using Apple Mac. And that puts the blue line around it and it's copied. Now we have to paste it somewhere. So we go up to the word graphics here, the logo, and click onto that. This is the page where you can create everything that you want to do. So in order to paste it, if I go to Edit and Paste, we may well be able to paste it directly in. I go there. Sometimes it won't let you do it, depends on the setup of your computer. If that happens and you can't paste and it's grayed out, you simply need to have something like the heading here highlighted in blue and then go Edit and Paste, or Control V if you want to use just the keyboards as a shortcut. So always remember that if nothing's pasting or it's grayed out, just check that something's clicked on with a blue line around it. That lets the page here know that it's ready to accept something to be copied into off of the CD. And if you accidentally delete that throughout the day or whatever when you're using it, there's always a little spare hidden one up here as well. You can click that and again be able to paste. Okay, so let's come back to our object here. Now, a couple of good things that we can do with it. Obviously we can make it bigger, and that's obviously really useful. Now these are PNG elements. They're called portable network graphics, and it just means that the background was transparent, so that area here now can, if I just pop it over the type, it doesn't block it with white or whatever. Okay, so we can work with it this way, or if we want to, we can turn it round. So first of all, let's explore these handles here. We can make the image larger or smaller. We can't make it fatter or thinner, just larger or smaller. It always retains its proportion. But we can turn it round, and to do that, we just go up to this little handle here, click onto it. Now, if you hold the Shift key down with the button, you can turn it to exactly 90 degrees. It actually spins at 45-degree increments. So that's span over there, and now we've got our paper in position. So what can we do with this? Well, we're going to matte and layer. We're going to build up onto it. But remember, everything's in layers. The type was already here, so that's now gone behind. So what we need to do is to build up. And the way that we're going to do that is just by copying and pasting. Now we can do another command. So I'm going to build up on that page, but I just want to show you if something goes wrong. If you want to bring that forwards, go Control X, the Control key in the X, and then Control V. Now remember, if we can't paste, that's because if I go Edit Paste, that's grayed out. We have to have something highlighted. Back to here, and we can now come back and we'll see that the paste was highlighted, and that brings this just up to the top layer now. So it's all about layering. Okay, let's go back and have a look at what else we can pop on here. So we click onto there, and I'm going to come back to here, and let's say choose a pocket watch. So again, I rather like that one there. I click onto it. Remember, Control V, Edit, Copy, Control C or Apple C, because we're going to copy it. I'm going to go copy there and back to graphics. Now I've got to have something highlighted. If I go to paste, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on the setup of the computer. In this instance, because this was still open on the original page, it let it know that the whole document that it was able to be pasted. But the moment I click that off, if we go to edit paste, you see that it's grayed out because now I've copied the other one. Okay, but importantly, I just want to keep everything nice and simple for you. You can see now we're matte and layering. So I'm going to build this up and just make it a little bit bigger. Drag on it like so. Okay, so that in essence is how we use this feature. You build up what you want in order to print out. And we can move it around, so you could build up a couple of toppers or just one here, or even start building up your card if you needed to. But let's just take another look at what we've got here. Now again, if I click onto this element, there's something else that we can do. If I click on and then right hand click with the mouse button and go down to properties, I can now, if I just pop this up there, actually change the opacity here. So I can make that much lighter if I want to. Click OK. And you can see we can actually play around with the opacity. So I could actually add another element on there if I wanted to as well. We'll do that perhaps a little later on. I'd like to take a few minutes just to talk about the text for you. Now we can use the text in quite an exciting way. The one thing that you will find is you can't rotate it. So everything you have to do will have to be built up in this orientation and then pasted. But you can change the size of the box, and obviously we can change the text as well. So to change the actual text itself, I'm going to click off, come back, onto the text, and now get the white arrow. Now these little boxes come up there. Little boxes that tell you about information to do with what you're working with, and if they just pop up, we're kind of pushing the limits of the technology here. If they come up, just click onto it to get rid of it. In order to get the text right, just for a second, I'm just going to move it slightly over here because I'm picking up the clock as well, if you can notice, and just to show you that if that sometimes happens, just move it out the way. What I want to do is get this white arrow over the text there and then double click with the left hand mouse button, and you can see I can now highlight that text. And to change it, if I go Control E or Apple E, we get this dialog box come up, and I can change the size, and that will go to fit the box. I can change the colour, let's go for something a bit garish, and I can change the font as well. So there's a number of things that you can do with this. I can range it left and right. In essence, it gives us lots of control over the text. If I click back out and come back here, I can move the box around and work with it that way. Now you'll notice, because it's layers, it's best to try and plan this and work up in layers. Actually, this text I would have put on last. And you can see the reason why is because otherwise I keep catching the clock. So the next thing to do if I wanted to is just go Control X to cut and then Control V to paste it and make sure something's highlighted. And this is now on the top, and I don't get any of that problem with the clock underneath catching, as it were, within. And then of course if I want to change it, I can now just double click onto the text and I've got full control. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but trust me, it really is very, very simple, and all we're doing is matte and layering, and it really is as easy as that. So let me move the type over the way, and I'll just close that box down, and now I'm going to go to return and pick something else out. Let's try one of the illustrations from here. Let's have an old-fashioned car. So again, edit, copy. Go to graphics, go to our graphics page. You might be able to paste because the original's just still highlighted back in that document. So we kind of get one shot. And if I click off of this and nothing's highlighted, just to remind you, see it's gone grey. You just have to click on something in order to paste again. So that's the only thing. It won't take you long to get the hang of it. It really won't. So we can build up and create some lovely images like this. Because the backgrounds are transparent, you can see that we can see beyond it. We haven't got lots of white paper or anything surrounding it. I think you can start to see the possibilities of all of this. It's fantastic. Now again, that text is the layer underneath the car. So it's going to give me problems. So all I'm going to do is go Control X, Control V. I really do recommend, again, something highlighted to allow me to paste, that you do the text right at the very end. That way you're not getting problems with other elements. You can just concentrate on that, put it exactly where you want, and it's fine. It's up to you to experiment. So this really shows you in very basic terms how we use this. Now if I go to the print command here, and remember we've got to set current page. If I click onto there, we'll see exactly what we're printing as those elements there. So this enables you now to build up. I'm going to cancel that because we don't want to print it. We can build up a number of these little toppers, and there'd be nothing to stop you now. I'm going to go Control C, Control V. If you wanted to do a bit of decoupage, you could pop this one on, maybe print a couple of them and just cut certain elements out of it if you wanted to. But if not, you can, as I said, create your elements here. So when it comes to using the toppers on the cards, we've got lots and lots of choice. If I click back to return and we go to here, I'm just going to choose, say, one of the toppers from here. I've highlighted it so it's in blue. I'm going to go to Edit, Copy, off to Graphics because that's where I'm going to use it. Control V. You may have to have something highlighted. You can try it first. I didn't in this instance. And I'm just going to work this over our existing graphics at the moment. It's a little bit of a hodgepodge, but you see where we're going. Now that I could change to the size of the card that I want to use. And again, if I wanted to, I'm going to just go Control X, Control V to paste. Nothing highlighted, so highlight the box there, pop that in. And I'm just going to put my little car down in there. Like so. So I can work up with the topper. I could bring my type in if I wanted to. Again, that's going to be behind, so I'm going to go Control X or Apple X so it's cut, and then Control V to paste. Like so, that brings it up to the top there. And as I said, we can alter the size of the box, we can alter the colour, the shape of the text. Control is really what this gives you. It's very, very simple, but really that's just how we work with our crafting. We're just going to matte and layer. Now I'm going to bring that one behind it. And I could, if I wanted to, then just work this out, make it a little bit bigger. I'm just trying to squeeze that behind because, let me just catch on that there to show you, because it's at the back. It does kind of mess about with the other elements, but there we go. Now I can't make that, what I can't do is shrink it down. That stays in the format that it is there. But I'm going to just bring that clock and just have that peeking through there. Okay, I don't want that element, so I can hit just the delete key, highlight it and delete to get rid of it. So there we go. This is just a very quick way of showing you how we can build up, move our text around, work with images. And now I've created a topper here that I could work with as well and just print out and use in my card making. And we can then go on. There's lots of lovely things here. You could we could add some cogs. Let's just do that. Again, going to go to, I'm going to show you the up here. So Control C, off to Graphics, Control V. I can make little machines. I've got little gears I can use. I can, if I just pop that one there like so, highlight it, Control C, Control V. I can join the gears together, make the teeth mesh. This is, whoops, a little bit smaller, so it's not technically right. I've double clicked onto it. It was a bit quick, so this has come up, and that's just going to go there like so. Okay, and just click off, and we can see how we're building up the images here. And you could really customize the cards. There's loads and loads of lovely bits on here. If I just come back and show you, we've got the basic mechanisms and bits of chains, screws, dials, all sorts of lovely things to build up a lovely card with there. Come on to the Victoriana, and we've got men that we can work with here, machines, bits of gentlemen's clothing. We've also got stuff for the ladies. We've got teapots, coffee pots. I mean, they could be used either or. So there's a nice little selection in there for you to work with. These are lovely, and they're great for putting text or the images on. Remember, these are much smaller as they appear here. I'll go Control C, back to graphics, Control V, but they will take the detail because they were made large and just shrunk down to fit onto the page. So you can blow it up and still get all this lovely detail. Remember to turn it. We can infinitely turn it to any angle that we want to, like that. But if you want to control it, if I hold the Shift key down and then click onto that, then hold the Shift key, you see the blue box come round, it'll go 45 degrees, 90, like that. It's a lot easier. Or back to that little handle and just offset it if you want to. You've got that control. Remember, properties, and we can change the opacity. But remember, you'll see things through it. If I just move that over, you can see now that it makes it lighter, but you can see elements through it. Okay, in essence, that's how we use the package here. Now, there's one last neat cool trick up our sleeves, and that's the fact that you can save this as well. We couldn't do that previously. The only slight drawback, and it is slight, is that it saves this entire little document here called Graphics M. The nice thing with that is you can carry on working on it at a later date, or you can come back and delete this, and then delete the whole file if you want to. So what we can do now is go File, Save, Save As, and you can give it a name. You can go to your desktop, make perhaps a folder with your name on it, click it in, and then save it, and then open it up when you want to. It's not a massive big folder. It's about sort of, off the top of my head, I think it's about 30 megabytes. So it's not too big, and it won't take up too much room on your computer, but you can work from it from there at any point, and then just add the elements to it if you want to. Or simply just close down it when you're finished at the end. It'll stay on the CD and nothing needs to go onto your hard drive. But of course you can't bring this back. But once you've brought it back and you're working with it, you can just clear by deleting all the elements if you want to. So I'm going to go back to return here, and just to show you. Now, if at any point you want to return back to the main CD, what I suggest we do is just click onto the minimize tag there, and this page was behind it, and I could decide, well, I'm going to pop my lovely topper onto this card here, print that out, go back, choose one of the beautiful backing papers, and perhaps then print that as my background onto the paper and work from there. Back to return, and simply click on, and I'm back into this section if I want to go there as well. But remember, if I just move this, this is a separate page and document from your main CD. So, in essence, and just to sum up, what we're doing is just copying and pasting. If I come up to the controls here, we're using the copy and paste. And we can also use the cut command as well, or Control X as well. So we can cut something and then paste it, and that will give us our what we call hierarchy in the layers as well. So two main controls, but I think those three together, just three simple controls, will get you everywhere you want to go. Now, this is Mac and PC, so again, this is on a PC that I'm using it here. For the Mac people, just check off the top of my head, it was the Apple key, Apple X, C and V for you guys if you're using that. Okie dokie. So that shows us really how to get the best out of this as a very, very simple graphics package as well. I hope that it doesn't sort of scare you, the word graphics package. It's really just a simple way of matte and layering. It just extends our crafting. So these images are there to be used. They've all got backgrounds white out so that you don't get any white box around them. It'll enable you to create, I think, some lovely toppers. Bring a bit of your own individuality into the crafting. But please do have a go. Refer back to the video if you get stuck at any point. I think the key thing to remember, usually the thing, and I sometimes trick myself with this one, I'm just going to go to copy there, back to the graphics, is that sometimes if nothing's highlighted, you can't paste like this, and you click on and think, why doesn't it work? What am I doing wrong? You just have to have something highlighted. I sometimes just use this little box here and go then Control V, paste, or Apple V. Remember, we've got our cut one up there as well, but I'm just going to go to V and down it comes. That's the only thing. It's so you sometimes remember. The thing is, it's really simple to use. Doesn't take long at all, and you can, of course, you just plan ahead and think about what you want to make and work with the layers there. If any time there's something you don't want, just have it highlighted like this and hit the delete key, and that will just delete it for you, so you can take elements out at any time and build them up again. Okay, I think that sort of sums up everything you really need to know. Have a go. Have fun with this and enjoy your crafting. It's a very, very simple package to work with. It works within Adobe Reader, and I think you'll have hours of fun with this. Okie dokie, enjoy your crafting and take care. Bye-bye.